Hello and welcome to A Very Curious Place. We are going to try to film today and fingers crossed it works. So today we are going to talk about another pandemic movie. This one is one of my favorites. Bear with me, I didn't bring the mic out. And that is Stakeland. Now there are two in this series. The first one is actually my favorite, but I do like the second one too. Now, Stakeland is basically a pandemic movie where the world is taken over by a vampire infection, which basically turns these people into vampires, killing them, reanimating them into vampires, and then they feed on the rest of the population. It's pretty simple, you know. There's a reason why it's called Stakeland. That was terrible. I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize. But yeah. So in Stakeland 1, you get to meet the characters, and the main characters in Stakeland 1 are Mr., who is the older vampire hunter, and Martin, who is the young boy that he saves. Now, I'm not doing any spoilers. That is like in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like the very first part of the movie. He saves him when the young boy's family is killed. So, boom, first thing out. And it shows Mr. and Martin as their relationship grows and as they travel the Stakelands, gathering people to take with them and losing people and then getting more people and then losing more people. And then it kind of leaves it an open ending, which is where you get Stakeland 2. Stakeland 2 comes in after Martin is grown. He's older. I'm not going to tell you too much about that one because, hey, spoilers. But it ends up having Martin having to travel back down into the Stakeland from up north to find Mr. and to get Mr. to help him in his cause. And so it takes him along his journey, and it takes him to where he finally finds Mr. And then it takes him along with their travels and how they've each changed and grown. And the very first movie has Kelly McGillis in it. I think I got their name right. She definitely plays a different character than I've seen her in a lot of stuff. Sorry, mosquito. Now, for everyone in the SPN fandom, and I cannot remember this man's name, and I forgot to look it up, but if you have ever watched Supernatural, and you have watched Rufus, who's one of the kind of ornery hunters that Bobby works with on occasion, you will see a familiar face in Stakeland 2 because that actor plays a character in Stakeland 2. He plays a veterinarian at one of the lockdowns. It's, oddly enough, it's not they're not really high budget movies, but for some reason they are some of my favorite movies. They are really great apocalypse movies. They are very great at pandemics, very great vampires. And these are not the vampires that you're used to seeing. These are not the, the broody, attractive vampires or the pretty ones that sparkle. No, these are the nasty, coated in gore vampires that, just, you look at them and you're like, ooh, ooh. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't you touch me. That's what they're kind of like, yeah. So this movie has all of that, and it's got religious cults, which you can't go wrong with a good religious cult. You just can't. Especially when the good guys are winning, the nasty little religious cult is losing. So, hey, also positive. So, there are some triggers in there for people. If you don't deal well with, like, the suggestions of rape or actual physical violence or gore. Okay, first off, why are you watching this review? Just, because, why? Why are you watching a review for something called Stakeland? If you have problems with all of that, you probably don't want to watch any apocalypse or pandemic movies at all. I'm just saying. So yeah, lots of violence, lots of gore, suggestions of rape. You don't actually see anything. You see, like, it hints at it. Which I'm okay with. But there is quite a bit of violence. It's a pandemic apocalypse movie. It's kind of a given. you kind of have to expect that. So yeah, there are some things that people might consider a trigger, so you got to keep that in mind. I mean, just keep that in mind. You know, it is what it is. Just put that out there. There's something else I was going to say. Don't remember what it was. It's been one of those days. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. Like I said, I don't know why. I don't know. It's just one of those movies that I will watch over and over and over again. Even if I just put it on in the background, I will. Grace saw something to bark at. So yeah, I don't know why. She's barking at the neighbor. I think she'd be used to him by now, but oh well. So, if you like apocalypse movies, you like pandemic movies, you like vampires, this would probably be a good one to check out. I don't think there's anything else to tell you. Check them out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've already seen them, let me know what you think in the comments below. Try not to leave any spoilers. We don't want to ruin it for anybody. I hope everyone is happy and healthy and safe and has everything they need. And we're making it through this one day at a time, y'all. One day at a time. That's all you got to do. Make it through one day, and then the next day you make it through that day. So just one day. So from myself, Heather, and Grace, who is actually off with the fairies right this time, but she's very quickly coming back because it's wet in the yard. And A Very Curious Place. Much love. Stay strange. And remember, normal is boring. It's boring. Bye.